This vegetarian diet is really boring. Maybe you should watch the latest video and stay curious. She has some great tips on becoming a vegetarian. Just as a little disclaimer, of course, in the end, everyone can eat whatever they want to eat.
I like it.
This video is really made for people who are either interested in becoming a vegetarian or they want to include more vegetarian dishes into their diet. I'm not talking about the vegan diet. Maybe I'll do another video on that. I really only want to talk about the vegetarian diet. You saw my last video and now you're thinking of becoming a vegetarian? I think that's awesome because by cutting out meat, you're doing a lot for yourself and for the environment. And at the same time, it opens the door to great and above all, varied plant-based meals. In this video, I have 10 tips to help you get started with becoming a vegetarian. So my first tip is visit a vegetarian or vegan restaurant. One of the best ways to learn about vegetarian cuisine and how incredibly delicious it can be is to visit vegetarian restaurants. The chefs there specialize in vegetarian dishes and know all the tricks and tips to prepare delicious dishes without any meat. I was once on a vegan cruise myself and I couldn't believe that some of the dishes I tried there were really meant to be vegan. They tasted just as good or even better than some vegetarian dishes. So therefore, put yourself in the hands of someone who knows, especially if you're at the very beginning of your vegetarian journey. And if you live in London, I can recommend the restaurant The Gate to you. Their miso glazed aubergine dish is to die for, and I will leave a link in the description below. My second tip, join a vegan or vegetarian Facebook group. Like many things in life, things are easier if you don't tackle them alone. Therefore, just search for vegan or vegetarian groups on Facebook. And I'm in one myself, and I always find delicious recipes that I try or tips for new and delicious restaurants. My third tip, find alternative substitutes for meat. Discover the variety of vegetarian foods. For example, there are sausages made from pea protein or soy mince. Or have you ever tried the Beyond Meat burger? The products not only look like meat, but also taste quite similar. And this is a good start for many newcomers. Mushrooms are also a good alternative to meat. There are even vegan and vegetarian burgers with mushroom patties, and they are very tasty. Of course, there's also criticism of these substitutes as they often contain a lot of additives, but I personally find that they make your entry into the vegetarian world a lot easier, so they are a great thing, especially for beginners. And as time goes on, you will find more and more products that help you to eat vegetarian food. My fourth tip, cook more yourself. The best way to learn about the diversity of vegetarian cuisine is to cook for yourself. You can get inspiration from vegetarian friends, cookbooks, or blogs, and you will soon realize that vegetarian dishes are really tasty and filling. A vegan cookbook series I can recommend is Deliciously Ella, but there are also great vegetarian and vegan blogs on the internet with free recipes. So here's an example of a cookbook I'm using. It's called The Quick and Easy Plant-Based Deliciousness. So this is a vegan cookbook. I'm a vegetarian, but I do really like these recipes. So I think they're a great start if you want to include more vegetables into your diet. Yeah, I can really recommend this one. My fifth tip, per favore, grazie, parla inglese, arrivederci. What do I mean by that? Eat more Italian dishes. Italian cuisine is particularly well suited to a vegetarian diet. Italian dishes such as pasta, pizza, or salads can easily do without meat and fish and are still nutritious and tasty. How does vegetarian lasagna, creamy gorgonzola gnocchi with baby spinach and toasted pine nuts, or 4-cheese pizza sound? The Indian and Asian cuisines also traditionally offer a variety of vegetarian dishes. The focus is on rice, exotic spices, and spicy sauces. Typical ingredients: coconut milk, Thai basil, soybean sprout, fresh coriander, chilies, and ginger. My sixth tip, don't become a vegetarian on your own. Look for fellow vegetarians. Becoming a vegetarian is easier and more fun when you have supportive people by your side. Maybe you have friends friends who are also thinking about becoming a vegetarian? Maybe your partner could join you. And if not, just invite your friends to cook vegetarian dishes with you or try out vegetarian restaurants together. My 7th tip, if becoming a vegetarian is still a step too big, consider becoming a pescatarian. For example, I still eat fish from time to time, but I haven't eaten meat since I was 10 years old. Maybe that would be something for you too. Once a week, you could treat yourself to, for example, salmon, because that's rich in omega-3 fatty acids. And 1 to 2 portions of fish a week, especially fatty fish, can reduce the risk of heart attacks and strokes. My 8th tip, boost your motivation. There's some really good films and books about why we humans should eat less meat and what is wrong with the meat industry. You can strengthen your motivation with these books and documentaries. Eating Animals, one of the best known non-fiction books on the subject. In the book, the author deals with factory farming. Although the author does not explicitly call on people to become vegetarians, as a reader, you will think very critically about meat consumption after reading the book. Earthlings. This documentary film asks what would happen if the everyday life of farm animal husbandry were suddenly visible to everyone. We feed the world. The film shows the dark side of mass production in Europe, and I have linked everything below in the description. My 9th tip. Make a step-by-step change and replace habits. Start slowly but set specific goals. For example, build in 1 or 2 vegetarian days a week and try to increase that number over time. Such precise targets are much more effective than saying to yourself, I'll try to eat less meat. It is particularly difficult to replace habits such as, let's say, for example, the bacon sandwich or bread you love for having for lunch. The best way to succeed is to replace them with new habits. How about the vegetarian and delicious posh cheddar and pickle baguette? My 10th tip, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you can't become a full-time vegetarian immediately. Questioning and curbing your own meat consumption is already worth a lot. Thanks for recommending this. I love it. Thank you for watching my video today. I hope you liked it. I hope some of the tips were helpful for you. It would be great if you could leave me a comment, leave me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and stay curious.